Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I've wanted to make this video for such a long time at this point. This is going to be a video basically on the topic of consumerism in the makeup industry. And I want to talk about the consequences of that and how it can be a little bit wasteful and why I think the act of buying a lot of makeup is not necessarily something that makes me very happy. And before I talk about anything else in this video, I just want to say that I am in no way, shape, or form telling you how to spend your own hard-earned money. I am not telling you what to do with your life. I'm not telling you anything. I'm just sharing my feelings with you. My opinion does not necessarily matter in the grand scheme of things, and I just wanted to make this video because I thought it might be an interesting topic. I thought that this is something that has been discussed a little bit, and it's something that I have been talking with a lot of people in my personal life, and I think that it's something that I would like to talk to you guys on YouTube. So for a while now, I have been doing a series called Will I Buy It? And originally I was calling it an anti-haul series, but then I changed the name to Will I Buy It? And in that series, I was basically looking at all the new makeup launches, and I was talking about was I interested in these and was I not, and why, and that was a really popular series, and I ended up really enjoying making that series, and I'm still making it. It goes up every Sunday, and I try to post it at like 8 a.m. Central Standard Time in the morning, and that series kind of made me realize that I didn't really need a lot of makeup to make myself happy. Now, I have a pretty good makeup collection in my opinion. Do I have 20 foundations? No. Do I have 10 blushes? Do I have 10 bronzers? I don't think so. For a normal person, my makeup collection is bigger than it needs to be. But I love makeup. I wear it all the time. I love playing with it. I love using it. But I think that using is such a key word in that sentence because I love using makeup. And using it makes me happy, and I love being creative, and I love creating different looks. I do not have makeup for collection purposes. I call my makeup collection a makeup collection because it is a collection of makeup, but I do not actively collect makeup as a hobby. I use makeup as a hobby, and I feel like that's important to say because a lot of people love to collect makeup, and I feel like people who collect makeup get such a bad rap because they're like, oh yeah, you shouldn't collect makeup because it's gonna expire and it's a waste and it's pretty much the same thing and it's bad for you, it's blah 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 blah. And it's like, I just want to say calm down everybody, like really just please calm down. If someone is collecting makeup products and it makes them happy, let them do it. It is their own money, it is their own business, stay out of it. Do they have to use all that makeup if they don't want to? No, they do not. That is their own business. I collect coins and I collect stamps. Will I be using those coins? No, because they're coins from all over the world and some of them are not even around anymore, and I collect coins because I like it and I like the history of it and it makes me happy. I collect stamps for that very same reason. I'm not going to be using those stamps. I like to send emails and I like to send texts even though I'm very bad at replying, and I like to call people. So I am not going to be sending anyone letters. So I collect stamps and I collect coins not because it has any kind of use, but because it makes me happy and I like doing it. So yeah, I collect those things, but someone who collects makeup is the same way. It makes them happy, they like doing it, it fulfills them. So they should be allowed to do that. However, do I enjoy collecting makeup? No. When I look at a makeup palette, I'm just thinking of all the different looks I can create with it. I'm not thinking of like, oh yeah, this is amazing packaging and this is like beautiful packaging and these are beautiful colors. And I don't really want to keep it in a drawer. I want to get it out and use it as much as possible, which is why I love doing makeup so much, because it makes me happy and I love the creativity of it. So whenever I look at a new makeup product, I'm not gonna put it on display or something. I really don't do that. I just keep it in my Alex drawers and I get it out every so often and I use it, you know. I buy makeup because I want to use makeup, not because I want to collect it. So there's a difference there. So in a way, I guess, if I'm using makeup, I don't need as much of it as someone who just collects makeup, you know? Because honestly, I don't need a lot of it. And I have curated my makeup collection in such a way that I have makeup products in there that I absolutely love. There's really nothing in my collection that I feel strongly that I hate. And there's really nothing in my collection that I'm disappointed by, because I always make sure that I buy things that I'm gonna use, and if I'm not using them, then I give it to somebody who will love it and who will use it. I actually noticed that I basically got so much more inspiration and I got so many more ideas when I stopped buying as much makeup. When I actually stopped being like, oh yeah, I want this at every single new launch, I was able to sit back, relax, and enjoy the makeup that I had and use the makeup that I had. And my creativity went so much higher, and I ended up loving makeup so much more when I wasn't buying like every single thing under the sun. You know, not every single thing, but you get the picture. So for me, it worked to be able to use the things that I had to create amazing looks that I really, really loved, you know. That made me happy, and in that way I was able to really just make my creativity so much more powerful. That sounds really weird, but you get the picture. I got so much happier when I kind of conditioned myself to not buy as much makeup, because I was able to use the makeup that I had to create looks that I absolutely loved, and I thought it was amazing. And I just want to give you guys like some like ways I was able to condition myself was simply by like thinking before I bought something. I stopped trying to be the first person on the website when something launched. I stopped really just like looking and like salivating at people's like favorites videos, and instead I started watching like tutorials. I started looking at like pictures of like beautiful makeup looks. I started, you know, like putting down my phone a little bit and like go reading some old magazines about like with amazing makeup artists and amazing like cover spreads, and I started getting more inspired. And in that way I was able to sort of take my mind off the product part of makeup and put my mind onto the creative part of makeup, and that is where I am the most happy. Something that I actually did with the Norvina palette, for example, because I looked at it and I thought I really wanted it, but I waited until it actually got into Sephora, and it was partly because I have Sephora gift cards, and also because I knew that I would be allowing myself the time to actually think about that purchase and think about, do I have anything similar like this in my collection? Do I really need it? Will I really be using it? Is it really something that I'm in love with? Like really just opening the palettes in my collection and looking at the makeup that I have is really great for me, because I'm able to familiarize myself with what I have, and I'm able to really just consider any purchase I make and make an educated decision on whether or not something will actually add to my collection, because I don't want to get duplicates of the same things. I love colorful makeup, so naturally I like to look at like different color stories, and I like to look at different like sorts of finishes, and I like to look at different kinds of eyeshadow. But when I was into neutral makeup, I was always buying like the neutral palettes over and over again. And when I was cleaning everything out, when I was decluttering all my palettes, I was like, I have so many neutral palettes, like literally so many of them. Why did I ever think that I needed these? Because again, I don't collect makeup, I use it. I mean, just thinking about whether or not you have something in your collection, whether or not you have something similar, really just helps so much, because you're able to, again, get to know your makeup collection more. You're able to find things that you might actually really like, and you're able to save your money. Because I find that now that I buy less makeup, I'm able to save my money. I'm able to buy makeup that is really overall higher quality. But when I actually started saving my money, I was like, oh yeah, I have enough money to buy this palette that I really like at Sephora, or I have enough money to buy this indie makeup brand's, you know, makeup palette that I also really like, you know. And did I make those purchases often? Oh no, not at all. But since I knew that those products were products I didn't have any kind of duplicates of in my collection, I was able to make those purchases, and I was able to, you know, be happy with them and actually use the products that I got. Another thing that I like to consider when I get a product is it limited edition? Because personally, for me, I do my makeup a lot online, and I like to talk about makeup online a ton. And whenever I'm buying something, I'm always thinking about how often I will use it. And since I use makeup on the internet so much, I always think about, is it something that I can use online? And a lot of times, most limited edition items don't come back, and when that happens, you kind of like, if you get that limited edition item, you kind of have like a week or so to use it, and then you can't really use it again without making somebody feel bad that they don't have the item. You get what I'm saying? So I tend to like never really buy any limited edition items, because in my opinion, those items are collector's items. Those items are for people that love collecting makeup, and since I like using makeup and I like sharing makeup with you online, I don't collect makeup just for the sake of collecting it. I collect makeup to use it. So limited edition items don't work for me personally. So if something is limited edition, it's honestly enough for me to just say pass, because I don't really need it. I don't really have a lot of impulse purchases. I tend to like do my research. If it's a makeup palette, I tend to look at the color story of the palette, and I think to myself, I ask myself a question and I answer it as honestly as I can. Will I be using this palette? Is it a good palette for me? Does this palette contain colors that I'm like about? And if I look at a palette and I can't think of at least 3 looks right off the bat that I can create with the palette, then it's not a palette for me and it's not worth it. I am all for using like different palettes to create looks. Sometimes I use like 3 or 4 palettes to create one look, and I love doing that. But looking at a palette and trying to come up with looks really just helps me make an educated decision on whether or not I really need this palette, because if I can come up with a lot of looks and they're either very similar to looks I've done before, or it's very difficult for me to come up with looks in general, then I know that this palette is not a palette that I will be able to work with, and I know that I will basically be leaving it unused. And that for me is not something I can do, because like I said, I don't collect makeup. I use makeup, I love using it, and I honestly, I don't really have the budget to collect makeup. I am like this broke teenager. I don't have the budget to collect makeup just for the sake of collecting it. So if I get something, it's because I really like it. I will be using the heck out of it, and it's something that I really feel strongly about, because I love that feeling of opening a new makeup product, a new piece of makeup that I really, really love, because there's nothing like that feeling, that sense that you feel of joy when you open something like a palette, when you open a new eyeshadow palette that you've wanted for such a long time and you've contemplated on buying it, and then you like it, and then it comes and you open it, and it's like being a child on Christmas morning. It's just such a nice feeling, and I love that feeling, And for me, it's just so amazing to have that feeling. But also, I know that is such an amazing and rare feeling for me, because I love makeup, but I don't need it. And for me, makeup is nothing more than a hobby. I mean, I would love to make money on YouTube. I would love that. But for me, at least right now, that's not happening. And do I feel bummed out about that? No, because I love makeup, and I'm in this because I love makeup so much, and because it brings me so much joy. So at the end of the day, makeup is a hobby to me, and makeup is not necessarily something that I absolutely need. So getting makeup is not as important to me as other things in my life. And that's why I feel like consumerism, for me at least, is something that I think is very important to be aware of, because do we need a whole bunch of things in our lives? We really don't at all. There are people that live on way less, and honestly, they're happy. They're happy. And if you have a lot of things, if you have so many things and you always love buying new things, if that makes you happy, sure, do it. But for me, I've realized that lately, I am so lucky to have so many possessions in my life, and honestly, I've always been grateful for what I've had, and I've always been grateful for the life I've been lucky to be living. But at the same time, lately, I've just been feeling I don't want to have as many things, and I don't want to be looking through my closet and being oh yeah, this is something I never knew I had. And I don't want to be opening a box and be oh yeah, I didn't even know I had all this stuff, because I have so much stuff. I want to make sure that I know everything that I have, that I know about everything I own, so I can enjoy everything. And if I don't enjoy everything, if I don't absolutely love every single thing I own, then those extra things I should pass on, I should donate, I should give to someone that will enjoy it more than I will. Because yeah, I don't need things to make me happy. I mean, makeup makes me happy, you guys know this. But at the end of the day, it's not everything to me. I think that even if somebody like dumped like a whole bunch of makeup, I'm talking about like, I don't know, maybe like another Alex drawer filled with makeup, I still would be like, oh yeah, that's nice, but like I would probably just like sort through it and I would like give some of it away to like either like donation or like I would give it to like friends and family, because I love using makeup, but I don't want it collecting dust, and I don't need to collect it because that part of it doesn't make me happy, but the part that involves using it does. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Is this video completely pointless? Because I've been talking for a very long time, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and maybe you can relate. I really wanted to make this video for you guys because these are some thoughts that I've had for a while, and I wanted to just put them in a video because this is just one of the many ways I have of expressing myself, and I figured I might as well just tell you guys what I feel like and just my feelings on makeup and consumerism, because I just wanted to give you guys my opinion, and if you can relate, that's fantastic. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to have a discussion with you guys. Yeah, my sister just came in, she's staring at me. Okay, yeah, keep the leeching in there, don't move. Don't talk. But yeah, that is pretty much the end. That is.
So yeah, that is pretty much the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I love you. See you later. Bye.
I know, but then no, I have to say that.
No, you can insert that and then end
I have
the video.
so many sweat stains already. But yeah, that is pretty much the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching me just basically embarrass myself online again. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.